couple with a brick, brew and a friend, bleed orange and blue to the bitter end. Come and join us, DNVR. We are DNVR.
We are DNVR, and we are live from Studio A here at the DNVR Bar. The A, only because you just put it on my mind, Zach, stands for an end of a dynasty. There will be no four-peat for me in the Madden League.
You doing okay?
No.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah. We were all poking fun at you last night for some things that happened, and I could tell you we're not okay.
No,
we're not taking the jokes lightly.
I was in a dark place. But, whatever. We'll get back on the horse and start a new dynasty. Anyways, lots of Broncos things to get to today, but first, I want to tell you about our friends over at MSU Denver Online, msudenver.edu/online for all they have to offer, and they have a lot to offer, including 750 total classes, 45 plus online and hybrid programs. There's something for everyone over at msudenver.edu/online. Also, got to give credit to Phil, who took me down in the game last night. So I want to make sure I give due credit to my opponent.
I mean, he may say he beat you twice.
He may say that, although I was winning the first game. Anyways, okay. So the question today, you can say my boys first if you want.
My boys, what's up, guys?
The question today is the Pro Bowl stuff comes out tomorrow. And so I ask of you, and I'll start with you, Mace, who, if any, Broncos should be Pro Bowlers?
Two guys should be Pro Bowlers.
Okay.
And they're both on defense.
Okay.
And they're both on the same line of defense.
Okay.
So I think you can probably guess who they are.
Okay.
One has been selected for the Pro Bowl before. That's Justin Simmons.
Yep.
And then one, the more you look at Pat Surtain, going into this week, he'd allowed a 56.9 passer rating when targeted. That puts him among the top four cornerbacks in the AFC. We see what he's doing on a weekly basis. The role he played in shutting down Jamar Chase on Sunday, to me that was the cherry on the Sunday, right? On Sunday, two kinds of Sunday. I think Pat's done enough. I don't know if he will be, but he should be in the Pro Bowl.
I'm right there with you, Mace. I think those are the two guys that deserve to be in the Pro Bowl. And, man, I'm just trying to think of if he will get it. But Pat Surtain does deserve it. And Justin Simmons also deserves it for his playmaking ability, and that was a big thing. And there was a lot of inconsistency in this secondary to start the season, and Justin was part of that inconsistency, but he has really turned it on, especially with that playmaking ability, and that's something that this Broncos team has desperately needed. And honestly, guys, he's really the only one that's consistently made plays for this Broncos defense, and that's kind of the only downside to this defense is they haven't been getting the turnovers when needed, outside of Justin.
Yeah. I hate this because you guys are going to make me be the Grinch on Christmas week.
Finally.
Hey.
But I will say you talked me into one.
And
But I don't think it's the one
Justin
I
Simmons.
don't think it's the one you think it is. I'm in on Pat Surtain.
Okay.
I'm in on Pat Surtain being a Pro Bowler.
Because you came into the studio saying you didn't think anybody.
Yeah, that was just part of the Madden hangover.
Oh, come on.
I was already in a Grinchy mood, but I could be talked into Pat Surtain. In fact, I'm in on Pat Surtain. I don't have to be talked into it. I just wasn't thinking of him when I sat down. To me, he's been the best Bronco.
I love
this
it.
season.
I love it. And you know why you weren't thinking of him when you walked in?
Because no one ever throws at him anymore.
Because great cornerbacks you don't think of, right?
Yeah.
And which is crazy that he's already got that respect, where it seems like every game the first one or two passes are at Pat Surtain, and then if quarterbacks are smart, outside of Justin Herbert, they just kind of don't go his way anymore. Justin Herbert tested that, and you know what happened? Two picks,
yeah.
And a pick six in there.
Yeah, and Jared Goff went at him on the first play of offense. I posted the video. I loved it because right as they throw it over at Pat, he throws it out of bounds. And Pat's just yelling, "Ooh, I like it." Well, because he thought if you're going to go at me on the first play, you're going to go at me again. He didn't really go at him again throughout the game. And I honestly think it was like a little test, he threw it that way, and he had to throw it out of bounds because Pat was there so quickly. He's like, okay, maybe I don't need to go that way anymore. And then the other day, it wasn't just him on Jamar Chase, and I think Bryce Callahan not getting nearly enough credit for what he did on Jamar Chase in that game, but he did have some reps on Jamar Chase. He was great in those, and you never called his name except for on the third down.
Yeah.
They did get him there with a nice route and a nice play. But then on the very next play, Joe Mixon bounces one outside, and I'm thinking like, oh, man, he's going to have back-to-back bad plays because he's going to miss this tackle. And he gets him by the shoelaces, brings him down. And, people made the Champ Bailey comp right when they drafted him, and I was like, this isn't fair. This isn't good. Don't do this to him.
Yeah.
And I'm like there.
Yeah. And I was
I'm
probably
like
one of
there.
those people you didn't like initially saying that. And that's honestly who he should be if you're taking a corner in the top 10. Is he should be a borderline Hall of Fame player. And you know what? That person should be in the Pro Bowl conversation. And whether or not he makes it, guys, he's absolutely in that conversation. So he is absolutely living up to the extremely high bar that was set for him.
He should be there. But it's funny you mentioned Champ Bailey because Champ was excellent as a rookie in Washington as well, and he didn't make the Pro Bowl. Sometimes these things are a year behind, unfortunately.
I think the name brand recognition is going to really help Pat.
Yeah.
He's an Alabama guy, so people already knew about him.
They know
His
about his
dad
dad.
was a Pro Bowler, right?
Yeah, his dad was. And the other thing is, you look at kind of national television as well, and the Broncos haven't been on that much, but he did get a lot of kind of airtime and FaceTime in the Chiefs game. And yeah, the Broncos lost that game, but kind of a pulse of that game was what the defense did and what kind of job Pat Surtain did that night in coverage as well. You mentioned the play on Sunday. Yeah, you got beat by Boyd, but he rebounded nicely. The same thing you can say about Justin Simmons, even though he wasn't at fault on the touchdown by Boyd. He was kind of turned around a little bit as the last line of defense. What does Justin do on the 2-point conversion? He's there to
Breaks
help
it up,
to
yeah.
break it up.
Well,
That's what great players do. If they get beat, they come back and they make a play as soon as the opportunity comes their way again.
Yeah,
They
and,
rebound.
and we had someone coming at us on Twitter a couple of days ago saying, I can't believe you gave king of the game to a guy that allowed a 56-yard touchdown. I can't believe that you're praising Pat Surtain when he gave up that third down. You're not, if you're a Pro Bowl player, even Pro Bowl players are still going to have a couple of bad plays. And Justin Simmons, I don't believe, was the one that gave up that 56-yarder. Now, he missed the tackle, and he absolutely, that's an error on his part. He's got to make that tackle. But it's not like even the best cornerbacks in the league are going to give up a reception in a game. So these guys, sure, they aren't perfect, but they are darn close.
Also, Justin Simmons is alone. I mean, absolutely alone trying to make that tackle. Boyd has 60 yards of space to go wherever he wants. It honestly would have been I expect the player with the ball to score in that situation.
Yeah, I'm not letting Justin off the hook. I mean, he's got to break down better and at least slow him down for someone else to cut. To your point, it's a very difficult play.
It's not even like an open field. It's like a wide open field.
Yeah, it's
nowhere to go, no sideline to force him to, no help defense to force him into. It's you versus him. Like I said, I expect the ball carrier to score in that situation. Of course, you'd love to have your, all-pro safety make that play, but I'm not knocking him for that. The reason why I don't have him, maybe I should. Maybe I don't know. The reason why I don't think I have Justin as a Pro Bowler is because I just don't feel like teams are afraid of him. And I can't get that out of my head. I feel like some of the best safeties in the league, when you game plan and when you call plays, you're saying we can't go near that guy. And I don't feel like other teams do that. Now, because of that, it actually allows him to make some of those plays that we talked about. And he's done a better job this season of making those plays. But I don't know why. I don't know why this was so scarring for me. But I just can't get that play against the Raiders out of my head when he's playing deep center field and Derek Carr just doesn't care. I feel like Justin and he obviously, the whole defense improved a lot since that game. But I feel like the next step for him would be getting to a point where teams are saying if he's playing center field, we can't go there. and you don't want to throw the out route on him if he's in man coverage and stuff like that. So I feel like he's one notch below a guy who strikes fear into quarterback.
And maybe that's why you're talking about him being a Pro Bowler but not being a starter. Maybe your starters are
Fair.
Minka Fitzpatrick and Derwin James.
Or not an all-pro.
Yeah.
Kind of
Right.
when it boils down to that. And there certainly are two levels, guys. I mean, the Pro Bowl, and I think this has been talked about a lot more the past 5 or 10 years. The Pro Bowl doesn't mean what it used to. And I agree with that. However, the Pro Bowl is still really important in people's careers in terms of not only their paychecks, but getting into the Hall of Fame. People still look at that. That's still such an easy stat to look at. So we can't overstate that. And Ryan, I think Justin Simmons, and this is the kind of the issue I had with making him the highest paid safety. He's a great player. He's not elite in my mind,
With you.
but elite is all pro.
Fair.
Great is Pro Bowl. So that's why I'm going that he is a Pro Bowler. And so, Mace, we already know Ryan's answer. Who is most deserving on this team?
Pat Surtain. No offense to Simmons, who I think deserves it. But I think with Surtain, I think you've seen a case to be a Pro Bowl starter. So a legitimate case for the AFC.
So what all three of us are saying, because I agree with that, is Pat Surtain is the best
Already the
Denver
best player.
Bronco. How about that? How about that? Makes me feel good. Remember on Three Ring Circus earlier this year when we did our Broncos draft and I picked Pat Surtain in the first round? I thought it was a little crazy doing that. A guy that never played.
Well, let's look at who the candidates are because I don't think the list is very long. Obviously, we just talked about Justin Simmons. He's definitely a candidate. You can't put any of the wide receivers in there.
No.
And I feel like from a talent perspective, those two, Cortland and Jerry, are two of the most talented players on the team.
Yep.
Javonte Williams probably has a case, as does Melvin Gordon.
But do you pick a running back in the first round of any draft?
No. So it's the wide receivers just can't be in there right now. I'm sorry. So your options are Pat Surtain, Justin Simmons, Javonte Williams, and Melvin Gordon.
Yep.
And it's going to come down to the two defenders like that we just talked about as Pro Bowlers, obviously.
Yep.
And all three of us are taking Surtain. That is, for all of the, for lack of a better term, hate George Payton gets for not going quarterback in the first round, and I'm part of that. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna not go that way, you better get a player. And that if you were able to tell, if you told me before the draft the Broncos aren't going to draft a quarterback, but they will draft the best player on their team this year, I'd say, all right, you might have to go with it. You might have to go with it.
It either means he's a really good player or your team is really bad.
And they did it at a premium position. That's another other thing. If you're not going to get a quarterback and you're going to try to draft somebody impactful, it needs to be either blindside pass protector, edge rusher, corner.
And that's why, fair or unfair, the expectations for Bradley Chubb have always been so high.
Right.
Because you drafted him over Josh Allen, over Lamar Jackson in a time when you were desperate for a quarterback, and that just hurts, and then you expect that guy to be in the running. We didn't even just mention him just now when we're talking about the best players on the team, and there's no way you could.
No, absolutely not. Guys, he had his best game of his season. Bradley Chubb, I'm talking about this past week, 0 sacks.
Yeah.
And I mean, pressures and sacks are not everything. Pressures are great, but you don't draft a guy in the top 5 for getting pressures. You draft him for game-changing plays, and that's one of the things sacks is, and he still didn't get any.
You just unlocked something in my head. All right, so you got pressures. Pressures are good, right?
Yep.
Got Stephen Weatherly. Weather, pressure. Stephen Weatherly, new nickname, the pressure system.
Wow, how about that? I love
High
it.
pressure system.
High pressure, yeah. If
High
it's
pressure
low,
system.
Even though low causes storms, high is what you want in terms of number.
But is there
it's a little bit curious.
Is there any way to incorporate the glasses into this? I feel like that needs to be part of it too, and it can fit in with some sun maybe.
Sun.
I don't know.
You might be getting high pressure system's already a long nickname.
It really is. Okay, so guys, just want to run a couple other names by you for potential Pro Bowlers, and of course, two that we've mentioned: Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams. And I think just initially we say no because those guys have been splitting carries, but guys, Javonte Williams, a top 10 rusher in the NFL right now.
Wow.
Melvin Gordon, number 12. Javonte Williams, number 9. Javonte has 815 rushing yards. Melvin, 769. And Javonte right now, he has the 6th most rushing yards in the AFC. And of course, all you have to do is look at AFC, NFC. You don't have to combine them in this. So maybe and we know Derrick Henry probably won't play in the Pro Bowl, although he could be
100%.
back. I just wouldn't think he would. So that puts him at 5.
Okay.
And then you have Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon. I think those guys are locks. Those are the 2 rushers in the NFL. Then you have Nick Chubb, who probably is a lock as well, and Najee Harris. And the thing with Najee Harris is, yes, he does have about 70 more rushing yards than Javonte, but he's averaging 3.6 yards per carry. Javonte, 4.8. And remember,
Is there 4 that go?
what is it, 4?
I think it's 3 and a fullback.
3 and a fullback, so still probably on the way out. But let's say, I don't know, the Bengals, the Colts, the Browns make the Super Bowl. There you go. You're eliminating one of those guys. And then Javonte can sneak in there.
If you had to pick one of those teams to make it, who would you pick?
Colts.
So would I.
And I don't love that with Carson
No.
Wentz. Man, I mean,
That's actually why that's actually why I picked the Bengals of those 3.
I mean,
Wow.
the Colts turned to Carson Wentz with like 10 minutes left in the 4th. They're up 10. All he has to do is not make a mistake. And what's he do? He throws it right to the Patriots.
Yeah. See, like that's why, like, when it comes down to it, if any of those 3 made it, I like the fact that the Bengals, they have an effective running game they can turn to with Joe Mixon, but Joe Burrow, when the chips were down, 3rd and 10, and they had to have a play, Joe Burrow made the play.
Yep.
That's like, it's funny. You look at like the if you just did box score analysis on Joe Burrow, you'd look at his numbers on Sunday and you wouldn't be impressed. But you watch the decisions that he made, when
Scrambles.
how he escaped, when to scramble, running for the sticks. The Bengals have a transformative guy at quarterback right now.
So on the screen right now,
Yeah.
on NFL Network, we're doing Javonte Williams as a candidate for angry runs.
And that was the play. The play they're showing is the one where it looked like he was down back at his own 1 yard line. And
Unbelievable.
somehow, and that's the thing, not just powerful, but somehow he keeps his balance.
Yeah.
That's what it's the power, but also he's got that balletic kind of grace to him as well. That superior sense of balance about him.
Is he winning it right now, or is he just a nominee?
I think we're going through the nominees right now.
Going through the nominees, and of course, he's one of Good Morning Football's favorite players.
Although, last week Kyle Brandt called him his favorite player in the NFL.
Kyle
Understandable
Brandt
so.
is my favorite media member
Yeah,
in the NFL.
he is fantastic.
Okay, so, but I wanted to bring that up because we talk about name recognition and how much it plays into this. And I think Javonte has literally built a brand for himself by showing up on angry runs every week.
Yep.
He's unbelievable.
Yep.
And so I think that would help. But like you mentioned, Chubb, Mixon, Taylor, all probably going to go. So if there's just 3 going, he's probably going to be bounced. But first alternate, we know, like, I'll say Joe Mixon doesn't go right now. Like, someone's not going, So he might actually end up there. But
tomorrow night when the names come out, he probably won't be on there.
don't think so.
And that's okay. The fact that he, for splitting reps, is in the conversation to be an alternate is incredible. And guys, one other name I'll throw out there that should be mentioned, Kareem Jackson. I think he should be in the conversation. I don't think he's going to get it. And then to me, honestly, end list. I mean, no one else to really talk about. I mean, Bobby Massey. If anyone on offense, he's the guy, just kind of like Pat Surtain. Offensive lineman you don't talk about. It means they're doing a good job. Bobby Massey has been the least talked about offensive lineman. He's done a good job. I don't think he's done a transcendent job to where he actually should be a Pro Bowler, but he's the best offensive lineman they have.
I wonder what his PFF grade is because I'm sure it's really good.
Yeah, I would think so.
He just goes out there every week. No one talks about him.
Nope.
And we move on.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and Garrett Bowles, unfortunately, he's got 5 holding penalties this year. So
Garrett Holtz was
Yeah.
back on Sunday.
it was.
I just hate that,
Yeah.
I don't mind when Mace is right about things, but I hate that you were right about this one. Because you were worried about, his fans in the stands. Was that part of it? Was it because holdings were so down in the NFL? Was that part of it? It seems like it was all part of it. And now, Mike Munchak's got his hands full because
Kinda
Garrett
like your
Bowles
hands are
has his
full when you're
pockets are
holding,
full. And the Broncos need better.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, those contracts that John Elway gave on his way out the door, who was it last year? You had Garrett Bowles, obviously a huge contract. You had Mike Purcell, who the run defense has been getting pretty punished this year. Was there anyone else? Were those the two?
Those were the two.
Yeah.
And the thing with Bowles, I mean,
Yikes.
you're paying him to come up big in a situation like that where you've got the franchise left tackle, big paycheck, and you're staring down one of the best edge rushers in football in Trey Hendrickson. And unfortunately for Garrett Bowles, he lost that matchup. And I know that the whole thing is, oh, you can chip and help him out. If you're paying a left tackle $17 million plus a year, you're paying to where he can be on an island and get the job done.
Yep.
That's part of the equation, to free things up elsewhere. You shouldn't be having to help that guy. He should be able to take care of it on his own. That was a matchup that he lost. Pure and simple.
All right, before we move on, I want to let you guys know that tomorrow night here at the DNVR Bar, we are having our ugly sweater party in conjunction with a Nuggets watch party. So, you get to dress ugly and then watch the most beauty sports has to offer. That's Nikola Jokic. It's going to be great. Should be fun. We're going to have a competition of who has the ugliest sweater. So come correct if you're going to come at all. And we're going to be doing giveaways all night. Should be a really good time. Maybe last time to hang out with your friends before a big family week. So that should be a blast. Come on down here, watch the game, hang out. Of course, you can come down to the DNVR Bar anytime, except for this weekend. Of course, we're closed for Christmas. But we love having you guys down here, and we'd love to see you tomorrow at the DNVR Ugly Sweater Party.
And the only thing that can make that night even better is if you open an account over at DraftKings Sportsbook, you bet $5 on either team to win, but let's just say the Nuggets to win. They win, you get $150 in free bets over at DraftKings Sportsbook, and then, of course, you can use that money on Thursday Night Football, Saturday Christmas football, Sunday football, Monday football. I mean, there's just football every day of the week that you want to use these $150, and if you don't want to bet on the Nuggets, just place a $5 bet on any NBA team, and you will get $150 if that team wins. It's as simple as that, and guys, DraftKings is also doing something so special this week. They're giving everyone a gift, and it's going to be at least $50 in free bets. They're giving away up to $10 million in prizes for their customers. So you want to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, bet $5 in any NBA team, and then you'll get $150 in free bets, and then you'll also get the holiday gift that they've got going on. So make sure to get in now. Use the promo code DNVR when you sign up to get all of these offers over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
You know, you say there's football every week. I'm glad that the Hawaii Bowl is back.
Why is that?
Okay.
Christmas Eve football.
But now we have NFL football on Christmas Eve. We got your guy, Jonathan Taylor.
That's Christmas Day.
Oh, you're right.
We have a Christmas Day doubleheader.
Yep, you're right.
Most years, Broncos have found out, not always, but most years, there's no football on Christmas Eve. So it's always been the Hawaii Bowl. So that's, you're right. You can bet on football every day.
Wasn't the Broncos Chiefs game with the jump pass from Don Terry Poe, wasn't that on Christmas Eve?
Christmas night.
That was
Okay.
Christmas, and Christmas Eve is when Gary Kubiak told John Elway he was hanging it up.
Christmas Eve
Gotcha.
2018 was in Oakland when you had the infamous punt return.
That was Christmas Eve?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that was like he slipped down on the goal line.
Oh,
and then,
wasn't there drama with, who was the former Cowboys tight end that was calling the game on ESPN?
Jason Witten.
And he only lasted, wasn't there
oh,
drama?
he
Didn't
called
say
Bradley
something?
Roby soft.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Man, Jason Witten was so bad.
Yeah, they lasted 1 year.
Yeah. What else? This is why I say I don't trust these holiday games.
Yep.
Something weird always happens to the Broncos when they play around the holidays.
Yeah, sometimes it's good. Back in 2006 against the Bengals, they win by 1 because the holder can't handle the PAT snap.
Yep,
on Christmas
I was there.
Eve. Yep. The year before on Christmas Eve, they stomped the Raiders at home, but that was a very good Bronco
Going back
team.
to
and a terrible,
2005.
terrible Raider team.
How about anything post Peyton?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah,
No,
nothing post Peyton,
nothing.
and even pre Peyton, the year pre Peyton, Christmas Eve, the Broncos go to Buffalo, and they get trounced with Tim Tebow. It was one of the games that kind of exposed Tim Tebow. All you had to do was keep your edges set. Don't let him chase too far upfield. And Dave Wannstedt was running Buffalo's defense at the time. He had his guys disciplined. It was 40-14 in a game that probably wasn't even that close.
Great mustache.
Yikes.
Yes. Great mustache. And, sometimes if you've got a mustache, you're going to want to get a little beer in that mustache, right? Or
yeah.
you want to give yourself a beer mustache. And that's where our friends over at Breckenridge Brew come in right now. Of course, Christmas ale. Do you have your kegs of Christmas ale, guys?
Of course.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Have you tapped them yet? Have you
No,
been-
saving it for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Yep.
See, Christmas ale has been on the store shelf since Halloween.
I know, but there's just something about it. Like, I also only drink eggnog on the 24th or 25th.
So Christmas Eve, it's all eggnog, Christmas ale. Any other holiday libations?
Well, everyone knows you can only have one glass of eggnog.
That's true.
So it's
yes.
a one and done type
That's
of
why I
thing.
start mine a couple weeks out, so I can have a few glasses.
Oh, there we go. See, we've got
There's
one
a
right
Christmas
here.
keg.
There you go.
Boom.
There we
The
go.
big Christmas keg
See,
of
it's perfect
Christmas ale.
size.
It's available.
Where'd Zach go?
Yeah, seriously, I know.
Yeah, it's available at grocery stores, liquor stores, you name it, throughout Colorado and beyond. I've seen Christmas ale for sale the last couple of months in Wisconsin. I've seen it other places in the travels covering the Broncos. So you're going to want to check that out. If you want to find the nearest spot to you that has this Breckenridge Brew Christmas Ale keg, go to the Breckenridge Brew website and check out the store locator. The odds are, if you're in a major market in particular, you're going to find someplace near you that's got that Christmas ale. You got 4 days until the holiday, so there's plenty of time to get out there and get it and have a taste of the Colorado holidays. And if you want to, by the way, if you want to have a perfect taste of the Colorado holidays, it's not just Christmas ale for Breckenridge Brew. You want to put the John Denver Muppets Christmas album on.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Since you get John Denver, kind of that Rocky Mountain feel and all that, and then you get the lunacy of the Muppets. My personal favorite Christmas album.
There you go. Real quick. Well, two things. One, you mentioned DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings Sportsbook is just giving everyone a Christmas present.
Yep.
I got a $50 free bet.
Yep, exactly. I mean, it's easy.
Yeah, all you got to do is click Paul Pierce's face, and then you get a...
When did you get it?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Maybe I need to find Paul Pierce's face.
Yes, go find it on the
okay.
app. He's on there. Click it. You click redeem. It's between 10 and 50, and DraftKings hooked
there
me
we
up
go.
at the top of the line.
I don't like Paul Pierce, so I love smashing his face.
I don't like him either. I said yesterday, Dre was like, "It's Paul Pierce." I was like, "Oh, I don't recognize him when he's not in his wheelchair."
Exactly.
Okay, the other thing is, scale of 1 to 10, how much Christmas spirit are you guys feeling as it's like 60 degrees every day in Denver?
Yeah, and then I look at my phone, and it's going to be 60 tomorrow, 60 Thursday, 60 on Christmas Eve. It drops down to a nice 50s on Christmas Day. Yeah, I'm in no Christmas spirit. I'm trying everything.
0 of 10?
I'm trying, so I'm at a 1 because I'm trying. Every time I come home, put the lights on the tree, turn them on, turn some Christmas music on, and it helps until I look outside and it's summer.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
See, this is where being in the South and spending holidays in Florida over the years, it's an advantage. I don't tie the Christmas spirit to weather.
Wow.
Like,
Interesting.
I think
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
you can have now in Florida, you'd want I wouldn't say you want it cold, but just be a little bit cool. So like for me, I wanted it on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day to be about, say, 60 to 65 degrees. So this holiday season for me is absolutely perfect. Now, once you get to like 75, 80 degrees, which I've experienced on some Christmases, I even had a Christmas in North Carolina where it was like 72 degrees. Okay, that's a little too warm. But if you're in the 60s, I think that's kind of perfect. And especially if you're having that big Christmas meal and you want to grill, you want to put something in the smoker. Well, you know what? It's perfect weather to be outside.
Yeah, I can't get by it. I'm a 0 out of 10.
Yeah. I need the snow.
Yeah, I just need some. I don't know.
Cold? Some
Cold,
clouds?
Yeah, just dark. I don't know. The snow. I really think it does come down to the snow. Like,
Yeah.
at least within a week.
Yeah, we're not getting that.
It's
We're not getting that.
just
Like
crazy.
hardly anywhere is getting it. I mean, you saw last night in Chicago. I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't cold
You know what sucks about this
for
the
what
most?
they normally get.
Is in a few months I'm going to be saying to you guys, does it feel like opening day for baseball when
Right.
it's dumping snow?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, speaking of, happy winter. Today starts winter. We get a 60-degree day.
The shortest day of the year.
Is it?
It's only up
That-
from here, which
Okay,
is
all right.
good.
Well,
Yeah, days get longer.
I like that. I like your outlook on it. It can only get better from here. Okay. So the other question.
What time is sunset today? By the way, anyway, I mean, it's
Oh
just
gosh, 3:30.
It's 4:40 p.m. Yeah.
Hopefully
I
the
hate
sun sets on a hot start for Kansas basketball because I'm going up to Boulder.
There
so
we
taking on the
go.
Jayhawks.
There we go. BK asked me if you were going to be there. I said, of course he is.
Of
Double
course.
digit underdog though with the Buffs tonight.
Yes. Yep. And
Taking that money line?
maybe a little Coors
That-
Magic today.
that
Let me
means
tell you
yes.
this.
Well,
I
that means
don't.
yes.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but little Coors Magic. You never know.
This game was
Coors?
supposed to be last season.
Coors.
Coors, as in Coors Event Center. I mean, it was supposed to be last season. It's a tough break that with the pandemic, the game didn't happen.
With McKinley,
And-
right?
yeah, exactly. And now you get the Buffs that, hey, we all know best recruiting class that Tad Boyle's ever had this year. But CU is the type of program where, as good as it's been, every few years there's going to be the reset year, and unfortunately, KU's coming in the reset year.
Yeah, unfortunately. And there's going to be a lot of their stupid fans there. No disrespect to anyone.
It's easier to get
Disrespect,
tickets
definitely.
at Coors than it is at Allen Fieldhouse.
Funny story real quick. When I was a kid, one of the first CU basketball games I ever went to, they upset Kansas. It was Kirk Heinrich. Oh, God, who else was on that team?
See you upset him?
CU upset Kansas
Wow.
with Kirk Heinrich. That's the one that I remember the most. Nick Collison
Yeah.
was
of
on that
course.
team as well. We charged the court. It was amazing. One of the best times ever. It was like a magical season for the Buffs that year. They had a bunch of upset wins. So moving forward after that, I was like, I have to go to the Kansas game every year.
Yeah.
Well, one year I couldn't find any of my friends. I must have been, no way I was older than 13. But I just went. I just went by myself to the game. And I was like, I was like kind of playing the kid card. I was like, no one's going to stop me from just going and sitting wherever I want.
That's true.
So I pushed the limits a little bit, went to the very front row and sat in an empty seat and was sitting next to these people. And I was like, blah, 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 like, yeah, like Kansas sucks. And they're like, oh yeah, like our son plays for Kansas. You're actually sitting in our seat right now. And I was like, oh, sorry. They're like, you can stay. Like, we don't have anyone sitting there. It was Wayne Simeon. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
It was his parents. Sat there with them the whole game. They let me sit in their front row seats with them. So shout out to them.
That's pretty cool. You
Yeah.
sat in
Awesome.
Wayne's spot, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
He had an
He,
open seat.
he wasn't occupying it. He was just dominating the Buffs.
Hey, do you know why all the trees in Colorado lean to the east?
Why is that?
Because Kansas sucks.
Like it. I like it. I like it. All right. The other Broncos related question I wanted to ask you guys today is put your name on it now. You got to choose someone that we didn't just say.
Damn it.
Who will be a Pro Bowler next year? I think we can all just like mark down Pat Surtain for 10 straight at this point. So who's going to be a Pro Bowler that isn't going to be one this year?
On the Broncos?
Yep.
Russell Wilson.
Yep. I like that. I was going there. And I can't go Javante.
You could.
You don't like that, though.
Well, I mean, it's not. That should be the number one pick in this draft.
Yeah, it should be Javante. I'll go. I don't even know if this is spicy. I should not go this route, but I'm gonna go Jerry Jeudy.
That's right.
I say the Denver Broncos upgrade their quarterback position enough and get their offensive coordinator to realize how special Jerry Jeudy is enough where he has a 1,000-yard season and really becomes that special wide receiver that he really should be. I mean, every week I come out and watch Justin Jefferson just tear up the NFL and make special plays, and I just think I like Jerry Jeudy, understandably so, more than Justin Jefferson. This is what Jerry Jeudy should be doing, and a combination of everything. He's nowhere close to that, but I don't think Jerry Jeudy is a bust, and I think he shows that next year.
Love that take. That's where I was going to go, so I'll go a different direction. And real quick, you unlocked another conversation that I wanted to have this week. Jerry Jeudy, did you see him going at it with Eli Apple
I did.
after the game?
I did.
Your thoughts?
Man, I don't mind.
Real quick, just to set the stage, if you guys didn't see it, if you're not on Twitter, Eli Apple, who has never done anything in the NFL, had a good game. Good for him. So he took his opportunity to just go after Jerry Jeudy unprompted. Took a shot at him because someone tweeted out the play where Jerry Jeudy ripped it out of his hands when he had an interception. He said, best play Jeudy made all day. He also took I didn't even see this one. He threw another stray at Jerry, calling him Casper.
I didn't see that
Saying
one.
he was a ghost out there.
Oh, my gosh.
So Jerry claps back, says something like, watch the film. You'll see I was cooking you all game, blah, blah, blah. You guys get the gist.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I don't mind him supports or defending himself, but man, this is back-to-back years now after a loss. Jerry's just saying last year it was after the Chiefs game. He's saying he's out there conditioning. I just stay away. If you win and you still catch 0 passes, then go out and absolutely cook him. But after a loss, just looks like he's not focused on maybe the right thing.
Mace?
Or he's just frustrated. And I think,
Well,
Yeah.
deservedly.
I think that's part of it. I mean, I agree with you, Zach, that he probably should just kind of keep that stallion in the barn at that point. But that's who he is, and I understand the frustration because he is getting open. And I think one of the really disappointing things about Teddy Bridgewater this year is that the timing they had in practice, the anticipatory throws, they haven't translated very often to actual gameplay.
Imagine if you just had the best take and I just never tossed it to you the whole game. Or the whole show. I just never let you talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how Jerry Jeudy feels right now. He's sitting there on the podcast, got all these great takes that he's ready to fire off, and the host doesn't even acknowledge him.
You know what you do at that point is that you kind of have to butt your way in, or in his case, what he should do is
Go under center and just take the ball.
when he's timing that fake jet sweep,
Slow it down.
slow it down, and then
Intercept
the
the
quarterback turns and gets take the ball. Like I'm doing this myself.
I love it.
Could you imagine if he did that and it didn't work and it turns into him running into the quarterback, the ball fumbling, and what the defense would be after the game?
Well, the other thing is also, I mean, I feel bad for whoever the quarterback would be because the quarterback having possession last would get credited for the fumble. So it would be a Drew Lock fumble.
So-
he already has enough fumbling problems as it is.
So for me, my thought on this is you're getting into an argument that you just can't win.
Yep.
You have no chance of coming out of this looking good because you had 0 catches
And you didn't win.
and you lost.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he has
true.
nothing he can turn to. Unless he wants to, go clip the all 22 and create a montage. That's the only way he can win this. And I don't think he's going to go through that. So for me, I was like, Jerry, what card can you play here that makes you look good? He played the, go watch the film. That makes you look salty.
It does,
And
yeah.
then, Eli Apple can just dunk on him right back, being like, if you were so open, why didn't you get the ball? And it's not like Jerry can be like, because my quarterbacks suck and they won't throw to me.
Right.
too
Because
bad
my
the
offensive coordinator won't draw up plays for
So,
me.
I was just like, don't
Yeah.
do this. Let other people defend you because you can't win.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm with him.
yeah.
I defended him. I went out there and I'm like, well, Jerry Jeudy's getting roasted now because Pat Shurmur only wants to run him on fake jet motion.
I don't
Well,
ever
that's
want to see
true.
that jet motion again. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
If
going to
they're
see
not
it.
will,
gonna,
you
if they're
will.
not gonna actually have a jet sweep, just freaking stop.
I
Someone
think-
in my mentions is like, last play of the game against the Chiefs in
Yep.
week 18.
Yep.
We're going to be down 20 and they're going to run it and it's going to work.
Yep. I was going to say, they're just saving it for the Chiefs game. And you know what? That Chiefs game's probably not going to mean much.
It's going to
No.
be against scrubs. You know what? It's not going to mean much, but look, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you realize the Broncos win the next 2 games, and the Chiefs have the number 1 seed. I mean, there's a very good chance that they could be a playoff team if they win the next 2 games.
Yep.
I don't want to give false hope, but at the same time, you can see kind of the pieces aligning here. Now, I think the biggest question for the Broncos on Sunday, we'll get into this tomorrow, is where are they emotionally going into this game?
You'd hope they're okay. I mean, professionals being 500, still
Right.
having a shot at the playoffs. Sheesh, you'd hope so.
But Justin Simmons says that he was so downcast on Sunday night after saying, hey, it was a do-or-die game. I mean, after viewing it as a do-or-die game on Sunday, do they have anything left, or is the emotional reservoir empty?
Yeah, well,
when they go to Vegas?
And to that point, really quick, Mace, Justin played up the Chiefs game big time before that game, saying, just wait till Sunday. We're ready. Just wait. Come out, lay an egg.
Yeah.
Last week, he said it was a do-or-die situation. This week, well, they obviously did not live up to that. So words are clearly not working in that locker room right now.
Yeah.
So I never put my name on a guy. I will buy the most valuable stock that is at its lowest right now, and I'll say Cortland Sutton is a Pro Bowler next year. And guess what? If Mace's prediction is right, both of our predictions will be right as well.
Exactly.
So I feel good about that. Russell Wilson, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton all going to the Pro Bowl next year in Broncos helmets. Sounds great to me.
That would mean playoffs. And
Playoffs?
fun football.
Maybe they're not
and
going
exciting.
to the Pro Bowl because they're going to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
That's a world that we can live in right now, and I like it. All right, before we move on, of course, got to tell you about our friends over at Manscaped. This is a great gift for yourself. I'm not going to go down the road of saying you should buy this for someone, except for maybe your significant other. Maybe you can get away with that one. Don't buy this for your parents. That's weird. Buy it for yourself. Give the gift of Manscaped to yourself, and that's going to be a gift maybe to your significant other as well. You can try and spin that one off. They've got great products. The one that I'm actually most interested in right now is right here in front of me, the new shampoo. They've also got a new body wash. As you can see, the packaging is great, and they know all about great packaging over at Manscaped. It smells great. It makes your hair, the shampoo makes your hair nice and smooth because it's a shampoo and conditioner hybrid. But they've also got all sorts of other products that you can try out. Ball deodorant. They've got Crop Preserver, which is like a little midday spritz. Or no, that's the Crop Reviver. Just give it,
It revives you.
Yeah, it just makes you feel like you're fresh out of the shower.
Pep in the
A
pubes.
little pep in the step. Check it
You
out.
like saying pubes, don't you, Zach?
I don't know.
I think you've used the word pubes more than anybody else in the DNVR family
If you
combined.
if you want me to use it again, I saw a TikTok this morning saying how in the 1400s they used to have pubic wigs.
Oh, no.
Yes.
That's just not, well. Anyways, check out our friends over at Manscaped. Use the code DNVR for 20% off plus free shipping. Great gift for yourself this holiday season.
And a great gift for yourself or for other people is switching over to Mint Mobile. It is a premium cell phone service. And guys, what they have is they're offering plans starting at $15 for unlimited talk, unlimited text, and your data plan starts there. And you're probably saying, okay, well, what's the catch? There is no catch. The only catch is they don't have any physical stores. That's how they save money, and then they pass that savings on to you. And probably the worst place to go is a physical cell phone service store, and you don't have to go there. So you go to mintmobile.com/DNVR. You sign up. They send you a SIM card. You take that SIM card, put it in your phone. You download an app, and boom, you are off and running. Guys, I did this, and it's really that simple. I went to mintmobile.com/DNVR. They sent me a SIM card. All I do is put it in my phone. I get to keep my number. I get to keep my phone, and I start saving money. And right now, guys, they're offering a deal where you buy the first 3 months, and then you get the next 3 months for free. So not only is it great savings with $15 a month, but then it's buy the first 3 months, get the next 3 months free. So check them out over at mintmobile.com/DNVR.
Also, if you want a new gig, check out our friends over at Ball. They've got openings for production technicians at their plant in Golden. You can read the full description and apply at jobs.ball.com and search for Golden. But here are kind of the bullet points of what being a production tech at Ball is. You work on the front line of the aluminum beverage can production process at Ball's plants. They offer a competitive wage of $27.39 per hour with potential for salary increases at 6, 12, and 18 months on the job. You get exposure to a lot of other manufacturing opportunities at the plant in Golden. You'll touch on the other stages of production, including making aluminum cans and ends. That role is going to be responsible for machine adjustments on high-speed production equipment. It's an integral part of the production team at Ball, both in quality and meeting operational goals for volume. And being a production tech at Ball doesn't mean you're doing that forever. There's skills growth built into it. Many production techs at Ball become maintainers, which is the next step up. Some have even gone on to other roles in operations and management. So there's a lot to gain by going to Ball and working there. It's a full-time job with benefits. Insurance is active on the day of hire. You got 401k for retirement, stock ownership program, and potential for an annual bonus. So check all those things out at Ball. Zach's Aunt Julie works at Ball. She raves
Still
about
Aunt
it.
Julie.
Yes. If you are looking for a career change, if you're thinking your job just doesn't have that oomph, as Vic Fangio might say, you want something different, check out the positions available at Ball's plant in Golden. Text Golden to 77222 and you'll be linked to open positions, or go to jobs.ball.com and search for Golden. That's jobs.ball.com, search for Golden, or simply text Golden to 77222 and be unstoppable at Ball. Or should it be unstoppable?
Both.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Be unstoppable.
Okay, real quick, as I'm looking into the comments from yesterday, I see the headline. I didn't catch the show. What was your guys' take? Should Drew Lock start the rest of the season?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And Ryan, you just can't get fooled by either quarterback. You can't get fooled by a good Teddy's not going to play this week, so a good 2-game stretch to finish the season for him at the end of the season, and you certainly can't get fooled by Drew Lock having a good 3-game stretch. You have to go make a huge upgrade at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I said the first concern is Teddy's health, and this is the second concussion, and I would be very cautious. My instinct would be not to play him the rest of the way.
Yeah.
But if they were both if they were both healthy, all things were equal. The fact that even though Sunday was better for Locke than for Bridgewater, the broad sample size when they've gotten time, Locke has had 3 giveaways in 14 possessions in 3 appearances this year.
Yeah, I mean,
that's hard to get past. So if Teddy Bridgewater were healthy, I'd go with Bridgewater. But again, 2 concussions in 2.5 months. If it's up to me, I'd be shutting him down for the safety of the player.
that was going to be my take is, there's a little upside to playing Drew Lock, even if it's just from a trade value perspective.
Yep.
But more importantly, it's just I don't want Teddy to get a 3rd head injury. Yeah. That's just terrifying.
Within 2 or 3 months.
Right. It's just not right. So
I mean, it's literally a brain injury. I mean, we call concussion sort of is a euphemism. It's a brain injury that he suffered. Let's not mess with this. Let's think of the whole. And I'm not talking about us, but like in terms of the decision the Broncos may make. Think about Teddy Bridgewater, the human being, not Teddy Bridgewater, the quarterback.
Again, it's just not. It's not worth the risk. There's no upside.
Right
now, maybe you win these next 2 games with Drew Lock. First of all, I don't know why you probably want to keep him in there.
Right, exactly.
If week 18,
unless you're winning with like 300 yards of rushing and 100 yards passing, but I don't think that's how it's going to work.
For sure,
yeah.
Right. But you could maybe make the case to me that hey, you somehow get 2 wins here, and Teddy's ready to come back week 18 against the Chiefs. You could maybe make that case, but that's a bridge we'll be happy to cross if we get that opportunity.
Would be definitely.
All right, let's get into the comments here. And the first one is from Lucifer's Army. How'd you feel if Peyton said to Fangio, I'm going to keep you on as head coach, but we'll be hiring someone whose job is management during games, and I will be picking the next OC. Side note, do any teams have someone solely dedicated to time management? This is what I actually think is going to happen. Now, it won't be just Peyton, picking the OC himself. It will be a collaborative approach. I've already made my prediction of Matt Nagy. I think it just feels like it's going to happen.
Did you see Matt Nagy last night? He was freaking out all game.
Yeah, he was. But I think this is what I'm predicting is going to happen. Now, if they go 0-3 in these last 3 games, I think that will be enough to get Vic Fangio canned. But I think that they're going to win at least 1, and I think that might be enough to keep Vic Fangio around. I know Mason and I are very far apart on this.
So you think he stays at 8-9?
Yep.
I do not think there's any way he stays at 8-9.
What about 9-8? Obviously, no playoffs with that.
I mean, probably not because of the tiebreaker. I think if it's 9-8 and that 9th win is over the Chiefs resting their starters, then I don't think he comes back.
I put it out yesterday, and again, I'm not polling for this. No. It's just what I think. I put out the combined stats of Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow against this defense. And they look worse than the worst Broncos quarterbacks that they've had. They're 59% completions, 200 yards a game, basically 1 touchdown to 1 interception. And I just think that when George Paton sits down and really evaluates this, he's just going to say, I want to keep that, and I think I can fix the rest. For better or for worse, I think that's the approach. I think they go get a Matt Nagy-esque guy with a lot of experience to come in and coach the offense and help with game management, and time management. I think they do bring in someone who's like a time management consultant, who's on the staff, and they try to, essentially patch the holes rather than rebuild the whole house.
Man, I hope you're wrong about Matt Nagy. He just, even from just an offensive standpoint, does nothing for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and he did well in Kansas City, but Andy Reid was calling the plays,
Exactly.
right? And the other thing also that we're kind of not factoring in is things that George Paton and the people inside the building know, that because we're not in the locker room because of COVID and all the protocols, we don't know, and that is how well is Vic connecting with players? Are there still those issues in terms of connecting with guys? Is there still that kind of lack of big picture perspective that a head coach needs to have? And that's why, and honestly, kind of the rumblings, that's why I don't think he's back unless they make the playoffs.
That's what I want.
Yeah, right.
People are coming at me hard on Twitter yesterday for the last part of my tweet was said, this is why I don't think George Paton is going to be in a rush to fire him. People are like, so you're saying that you I'm like, no. I'm saying what I think he's thinking.
Yeah, and Ryan, I feel closer to you than Mace with the playoff mandate. I think a winning season and Vic is back. And again, it's not what I would do. I think it's what George is going to do.
I mean, the thing is, like, let's say they get to 9-8 and that 9th win is over a Kansas City team resting its starters.
Yep.
Then that means you're 9-8, but you've got wins over the Kansas City B team, Jacksonville, the
Giants,
the Jaguars,
Jets,
the Giants,
Lions.
the Jets. I mean, I look at that and I'm like, okay, there's not a lot of meat on this on the bone here, so to speak.
Real quick, if they lose to the Raiders this week, last place schedule is back in play, isn't it?
It'll almost be locked in. The Broncos would have to win out after that, and the Raiders would have to lose out because the Raiders have the head-to-head tiebreaker against the Broncos. So, yes, if they lose this week, they are pretty much guaranteed a last-place schedule. They aren't out of the playoffs. Guys, if they lose this week, guess their playoff percentage. Mace, if you already know, don't guess.
I know.
If they lose this week.
According to
Ryan,
538, I know. Yeah.
Yep.
1%.
0.1%.
Down. It's literally a 1 in 1,000 chance if they lose this game.
Yep.
And
Can't say they're mathematically eliminated.
Exactly.
And that's why I doubt they'll do this. But to me, if you lose this game, what are you waiting for? Just make the move and start the interview process.
Ooh, interesting.
Because
that would shock me. But again, all that stuff I said about the quarterbacks can be undone in these last few weeks because you do face Mahomes and Herbert again.
Right.
So,
they could torch you, and Carr. Carr could torch you again.
Right.
That's one of the guys they haven't had success with this year, and now Carr is playing as bad as Derek Carr has played. I mean, how do you barely beat that interception?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
They're picking them apart, 6-7 yards at a time. Why are you going for the home run there?
It made no sense. That was such a boneheaded. The Raiders are so lucky that they won that game.
It's amazing kind of how that offense has devolved since the Henry Ruggs incident. Like that, there's just no punch there in that attack. Like look, I know that they're 7-7 and they're same record as the Broncos, and the Broncos lost them in October. Right now, that is a terrible football team. That is a terrible team, and if you can't beat them on Sunday, I mean, that's why.
I hate to be that
what
guy,
are you
but I
clinging to?
think it might be for the best.
Saying that, Mace, I'm really curious who we all pick in 2 days.
Yep.
Because right now, guys, Broncos underdog, 1.5 points.
Oh,
yep.
We'll get into that. We got two podcasts to get into that.
I love
guys.
I'll just say I've
kind of made up my mind.
We saw the benefits of a last place schedule this year.
Yep.
NV Champ 24. Been listening for a while. Finally subscribed. We got him. Went to the Giants game in 2017. We haven't lost and haven't been good since, but going to the Chiefs game this season to break the curse. My question is, after you're willing to trade PS2 and Javonte for Russ, would you have traded Von Miller in 2012 for Peyton Manning if that's what it would have taken, hypothetically?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. Next one, Chicago Bronco 86. It definitely will be a loss losing a defensive mind, but I'm really leaning towards Denver needing to move on from Vic. You guys would have better insight into this, but some of his answers after game feels like he sees the defense as his team and the offense is someone else's fault. I agree on that. This is kind of a tough position for a head coach to take, and I can't imagine it goes over well with the offense. Am I misreading things, or does Vic still have a tendency to act more as a defensive coordinator than a head coach?
Well, not only that, did you hear his answer that Evan Washburn relayed at the start of the second half? Like what's going on? It's all about the players are there to be made. The guys need to make them.
And we've heard that this year a lot too.
He always puts it on, almost always, not always, but almost always puts it on the players rather than the coaches.
I hate that.
See, one of the things I really respect about Tom McMahon is that ultimately he says it's on him.
He does.
Okay? He really does. That's what I want to hear. I'm sorry.
Leadership is all success is my
buck-
people's fault.
Yeah.
All failure is my fault.
The buck stops here with him, right?
Yep.
And I don't see that with Vic.
That is the only thing that I like about potentially Matt Nagy, Ryan, is he would be the head coach of the offense. That's what Vic so desperately wants. That's what Vic thought he had with Pat Shurmur. It's just not going well. That's what Vic did not have with Rich
Pat
Scangarello.
Shurmur should not be a head coach of anything.
No, I agree with you, but
Who's gonna
that's
hire him as
something that Vic would really like about Matt Nagy. Not only their connection in the
Yeah.
past, but he would say, all right, I get to be the head or the defensive coordinator, get paid as a head coach, you get to be the head coach of the offense.
Who would hire Pat Shurmur as even their offensive coordinator? I mean, if
He's
you're
going
looking,
back to quarterbacks
if you're
coach.
looking at potential coordinators, and part of it, you watch the press conferences, like, is this the guy you want out there every week?
Him coming out in 3 wide for the entire beginning of that game was like the final straw for me.
Yeah,
It's like, you
so
truly don't get it. Okay, last one here. Gator Bronco 727. Last one that we have time for. Sorry if we didn't get to you. Copy and paste it over to tomorrow, and we'll get it then. Hey, guys. Sorry, we have a hard out. Hey, guys. I've been listening multiple years now since the BSN days. My fiance surprised me with a subscription for our anniversary. We got him.
Got him.
What
This is
a
my
great
first time
fiance.
commenting. Hell yeah. And wanted to say how much I appreciate you all in this community. My question is not super relevant to this week, but wanted to know how you guys would feel if the Broncos ever managed to get Derek Carr. I know he's not elite, but seems like a great leader. Since PFM left, that's something we've been severely lacking. Anyways, love you guys. I'm down here representing DNVR and the Broncos community in St. Petersburg, Florida. Go Broncos.
We got your weather here, and this Christmas
Yeah.
time,
Yep.
man. Derek Carr, you guys know what's crazy? Teddy Bridgewater's got the same stats as him outside of passing yards. Derek Carr over 4,000.
Wow.
I believe Teddy Bridgewater just right under 3,000 right now. 19 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Isn't that kind of crazy? Especially the way he started this season. He was on fire again. Derek Carr would be an upgrade, but he's that tier 2 quarterback. The Broncos, especially depending on who the Raiders got, would have the third or fourth best quarterback. It would be an upgrade, even though the stats are similar this year, but it just wouldn't be a huge upgrade. This team would be a playoff team with him, but then they'd need, I think, another step potentially to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's a tough place because there's a level of quarterback that'll make it more fun, but we'll never get you a Super Bowl, and I think that's where Derek Carr falls firmly.
Yeah, by the way, after the Broncos game for Derek Carr, 9 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Yikes.
Yeah.
What did he do that Broncos game?
He had 2 touchdowns and 1 pick.
Oh, that's it? I thought he went for just the way that game
Yeah.
Or
felt.
no
I
picks.
thought it was like 4
No picks,
touchdowns,
sorry.
no picks.
No, 2
Okay.
touchdowns, no picks,
many-
341 yards, 18.
Yeah.
There we go.
341 will
That's
make you
why.
feel bad.
Yeah.
There was the vertical
and they
game.
had those they had those like couple runs that were
Yeah.
super easy in the red zone.
Yeah. But the vertical game was there in a way that it hasn't been for Teddy Bridgewater.
Definitely
That's
not.
for sure.
All right. You need some plays that make you smile. And the Broncos aren't getting very many right now, but maybe in the future they'll have a quarterback who makes us all smile. And when that happens, you're going to want to have gone over to Green Mountain Dental Group. Green Mountain Dental Group, the best damn family-owned dentist group in the metro area, and they will take care of you like family because they're part of our family, and you're part of our family, so we're all family. They'll talk Colorado sports with you over there. They're just that kind of place, and they're just 15 minutes outside of downtown Denver over there in Lakewood. So check out our friends over at Green Mountain Dental Group. Schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam, and you'll get a free Sonicare toothbrush, which is a sweet little gift from them. So make sure you check them out, and make sure you check us out tomorrow right here, same time, same place on the DNVR Broncos podcast. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.